Call the meeting to order with the pledge of allegiance. Roll call shows that Mr. Schiffer is missing from the meeting. All other members are present. Item 2, approval of agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the agenda as printed.
Support. Motion by Mr. Miller, support by Dr. Huff. Discussion. Roll call vote. Dr.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes. Item 3, communication. I have one public comment from Mr. Smith. Go ahead. Yep.
Now we're waiting.
Okay, I am Everett Smith. Most of you, or some of you know me here. I probably served as an educator here at Ovid-Elsie for 38.5 years. During that time, I have never seen anything like what you have created here today. And I'm referring to the administration here. During that time, I have never seen, I'm sorry, I already said that. It used to be here at OE that staff had one another's back. You've created now an environment where staff have to watch their own back. It is said that the greatest mark of a good leader is that he or she makes those around them better. Today, many OE staff work in fear of bullying treatment and possible loss of their job. Many good teachers have retired early or left the district as a result of the treatment of the Ovid-Elsie administration. I am very confident that the administration and some of the school board members are well aware of the numerous complaints and stories largely directed at one administrator, but refuse to hear. Instead, they defend him on all sides, make excuses for his behavior, all the while he and his team were not held accountable for a single thing. Words and situations are twisted against the truth solely for the advantage of this administration. What is going on can be best described as a heinous manipulation of the legal system. It is a heinous manipulation of the truth. You obviously have little concern for truth, and I don't like to say such negative things because you know me and know I'm an optimist, and I'm very positive. I'm very upset with what has happened. You obviously have little concern for truth, but twist words against the truth to destroy certain people and promote the wishes of certain administrators. Sometimes at the store, athletic events, wedding ceremonies, and the like, I am approached by numerous people who wish to share with me their personal story. This one common denominator is in it all, and I'll give you a wild guess as to who that might be. I do not solicit this information. I don't ask anybody to come and tell me. I don't hunt for it. They seek me out because they know what's going on in my own personal situation. Many want to say something themselves, but fear of repercussions from a certain administrator to them or their families have kept them silent. The number of people in this group is quite large, and I am confident that you are aware of this. Those who could do something to address this problem remain silent or will completely defend and make excuses for these actions. There is absolutely no accountability here. You've terribly harmed and discredited my family through this. Proof has been presented against many of your accusations, yet no effort for apologies or corrections has been made. You have turned a positive for the OE School District into a horrible situation. The students first motto is no longer promoted here at OE. You have wrongly shamed people, hurt students by your actions, and in many cases, in your failure to act. School districts far and wide are quite familiar with the shameful manner by which business is done here. I have just a half a page left, is that okay? When you put a selfish individual coward in a position of authority, and I hate to say that, but I believe that, you have the keys for him to run free with no accountability whatsoever and defend this power for these harmful actions, there you find what you've created. It's not about truth, nor is it about what's best for the Ovid-Elsie School District and the students. You've made it work for what's best for a few administrators. As you can see, I'm very, very upset and angry at what you have created. Please hear me, I am not alone. There are many who share these sentiments because of how rotten they have been treated, and the common denominator is just the same. And I don't know how many of the administrators here, I only see one, but I want to issue this. That's what I've been really upset about. Finally, to the 4 administrators who call in one individual and demean, swear, accuse, and bully, I have one request to you. The next time you wish to do such a cowardly thing, please let me be the one you call in and talk to me like that. I would love that opportunity. This is not Ovid-Elsie. And I don't hate anybody in this, but I hate what you've done. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 4, consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented. Support.
Motion by Mr. Miller, support by Mr. Nash. Discussion. Roll call vote.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. Item number 5, Board of Education reports.
We'll start out with Leonard Elementary update highlight, and we have Principal Parsons to provide that report.
Hello Marauders, we have had a lot of really cool things happen at Leonard Elementary this year, and we would like to share them with you.
Leonard Elementary has a new reading curriculum called Bookworms. There are 3 parts that we do every day. The English language arts part includes read alouds and writing. The students interact with their teacher and peers during this time.
The second part is shared reading. Students build knowledge and work foundational skills. The last very important part is called the DI part. Students meet in small groups with their teacher to target skills they need help with. The teachers have been working hard this year. They met at a Clinton County visa to look at student data. The school leadership team meets once a month to review their school improvement plan. They also meet on days we don't come to school to learn more about bookworms.
We have a lot of fun at Leonard Elementary. We have monthly reading incentives to help us get excited by reading. There was a turkey trot run at Leonard on a Saturday. Even Leo showed up to run the race. Last week, we all got to watch a movie in the gym and eat popcorn as a reward for good behavior. We are also starting our kindness project by collecting money for schools affected by the hurricane.
Leonard Elementary had a family tailgate. Students got a free ticket to the football game. Ms. Parsons shared a video with parents so they can learn more about what we are doing at Leonard. We started red folders to encourage students to read every day. Teachers gave families fancy papers to tell parents what we are learning at school.
And this is just a quick video that we sent to our families for our data.
Hi Leonard families, we're excited to share some current data and our goals moving forward for this school year. Last year you filled out a perception survey indicating these areas of strength. Here are the areas that you indicated needed improvement. Our plan moving forward is to make sure that we're sending home our school-wide benchmark testing reports. We have moved parent-teacher conferences to fall to be able to meet with parents sooner. We revised our report cards to be more parent-friendly, and this year at conferences, you'll be receiving grade-level expectation brochures. Attendance is always one of our goals, and we encourage you to use our attendance hotline when your child is not going to be at school. Our biggest goal this year is to increase our students' reading. Our reading improvement plan is to implement our research-based new curriculum called Bookworms. We're also working on making sure students are reading every day at home. These are the red folders you see coming home. Within the school, we also have our reading buddies. Here are ways that you can help. Be sure your child attends school daily and that they're on time. Make sure to communicate with your child's teacher, and most of all, read at home every day. Thank you for partnering with us to make a successful year, and we look forward to seeing you at conferences.
So that was sent home right before conference time, and then these are the red folders that we're doing. We are not doing homework packets, K2 anymore. They're just reading and turning them in. And then, as the kids said, there's like reading incentives every month. And then if you want to take a look at these are the fancy paper brochures that went home to parents, you can just take one and pass it. They're all the different grade levels.
Some mornings when we get to school, high school students greet us and help us get out of our cars. This year we have had the football teams, the football, tennis, and volleyball teams, and the cheerleader, the FFA students, and the cross-country team. It is so much fun to see them. We like to include our community. We had a Veterans Day assembly with each event. We went to the high school for our Halloween party. We had a fire safety assembly, and we have community volunteers come read with us. We want to give a special thanks to Mrs. Huff for always coming in to read.
We have more things happening at Leonard Elementary. Thanksgiving dinner after school program.
Holiday shop.
Science Club and Roar for the Roar.
Thank you. Come visit us at Leonard.
Any questions?
I have to say, I love that you did it with their voices. It speaks to the building and the culture. And I love the video that you sent to parents because I feel like it addresses the things you're working on in a way that they can understand it. But their heads are loaded with very good. Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. The next report comes from myself. And first of all, I want to give the board election results. I'm sure everyone knows, but I'll state them themselves. New board members, welcome certainly to Sue Cadillac, who I met this evening, and also to Becky Williams. And an incumbent member is Dr. David Hoff. So congratulations to each of those board members. In regards to an orientation, I'm putting an orientation together right now, just trying to coordinate some dates and so forth. And I talked to Becky and to Sue on that. And over the next few weeks, we'll have that orientation for sure in December. If there is a board member here, one or two, really don't want 3 or 4 board members to come to that. We'd have to post it and things like that most likely. But I'll let you know when the orientation will take place. And if you have an opening that time, you can come to the orientation. Okay? So that's the board election results. The second item I have, at our last board meeting, I talked about our monthly financial report, and I thought I'd just show you a graph on how it fluctuates over a year plus time period. So I have a graph, it may be kind of hard to see for sure, but you can see the shapes, the highs and the lows. So it's a graph that depicts our total fund balance by the month from July of 2023 up to the beginning of the month of November, the current month of November of 2024. You can see how it goes high points, and the high points are a little bit short of 4.5 million, a little bit more than 4.5 million, you notice there. And those high points occur primarily during the months of June and July. Okay? Those are the times that we have the most fund balance. The low points occur primarily during the months of September, October, November, and December. We have pretty much salaries monthly, same amount. You know, it's going to fluctuate a little bit. But during the months, those low months, we do not receive as much funding and revenue during that time. Our funding is primarily from two sources. Most of it comes from the state, and that's our state aid, and that's based on the number of students we have every year. And our state aid payments, there's 11 payments in a year, 11, not 12. They don't come monthly, okay? And it's the months of, the first one is in October, November, December, August, but we do not have one in September, okay? The state does not give us any money during the month of September. Also, local tax revenue comes in later in January, February, and some in March. So those are the times that we get our revenues. But you look at the lowest revenues, you know, if you look at roughly October 1 of 2023, we have about 1.5 million. And remember, the highest is almost 4.5 million. So roughly a $3 million swing in that time. Also, if you look 1st of November, we have a little bit of this year, we have a little bit less than $1 million, where we had 4.6 million. So we have to watch how we manage our money throughout the school year. And sometimes people will say, oh, we need a savings account. Well, that's cash flow. You have to meet payroll, expenses, and so forth. I remember a number of years ago, Ovid-Elsie did not have much of a fund balance. And what we had to do, we had to borrow money, okay? And if you borrow money, there's two things. First of all, you pay interest on the money that you borrow. And secondly, you cannot invest. And we invest very safe. It's called a MyLab account, okay? And if we invest appropriately, we can invest, collect about $100,000 in interest for the year. So I just thought maybe it would be interesting for you to see the highs and the lows of where you have cash flow in regards to our total fund balance. Any questions? Sorry.
So last October, it seemed like the trend platform for 2 or 3 months. Is that usually the case? Because this year it seems like it's still going down.
Yeah, it's still very similar. I only got a short time period there. Okay? But if we placed it over a number of years, it would be a very similar, it's almost like a sine curve and something mathematical.
But the platform usually happens.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, just levels, flat lines.
You know, it depends. If you have a larger, say, capital expense, we have to spend at that time. But this is for all expenses. Okay. If I did a graph just for salaries, I think it would be much more uniform. At least the main thing you need to get from this We need a fund balance, otherwise we borrow money. As I said, many districts, you need a fund balance for this school district, about $3 to $3.5 million fund balance. If you did not have that 3 to 3.5, we'd be borrowing money to meet the lowest times of the year. As I said, my question every once in a while comes up, how come we need a fund balance? We have to meet that cash flow flow. We don't miss payroll. For sure. And I remember the times when we couldn't pay certain expenses. Yeah. What I could do is even go back further, and I think this graph would be very similar to yours.
Wait, I do have a question. On the eve of the bill, I saw that we paid the investigator that hired this this summer.
Yes.
I was wondering, since the investigator mentioned possible proposal problem in passing, when staff members see these actions by administrators, some are afraid to speak up. Administrators act in ways that are intimidating, demoralizing, and humiliating, and many seem to be singled out for dismissal. How has this cultural issue been addressed, or is it being currently addressed from the kind of investment?
I'd have to look into that. Good answer, fair answer. Anything else?
Item 6, old business, we have none at this time. Item 7, new business.
Okay, new business, we have first reading. You see the policies there. I put them in 2 different categories. Edgar category, and Edgar are all primary policies that follow the financial basis for a school district. And the other ones are, I put in category B. So this is a first reading. Do you have any questions on the first reading policies? Everyone has them in front of them. If you do have any questions, let me know. You can see the green in these policies are the new, most of them are revised, okay? And the red are their strikeouts. And usually the revised is because of law, regulations, and so forth like that.
Question? Item B, employee resignation.
Okay, employee resignation is recommend to the Board of Education to accept, this is the new business office specialist. He was with us just a short time. He found scheduling and going to school did not work out in his schedule, so therefore he turned in his letter of resignation. So I recommend to the board to accept his letter of resignation.
I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion the Board of Education accept and regret the resignation of Isaac Hungerford as the business office specialist effective November 7, 2021.
Support. Motion by Ms. Cooley, support by Mr. Miller. Discussion.
Has this position been reposted?
It will be reposted tomorrow if the board acts on the resignation.
Roll call vote. Doc?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. Item C, contract.
Contract is for second semester high school math and science teacher. As I said, it'd be for second semester. This is one that was not filled in the fall, and it's being recommended to be filled for the second semester.
And ongoing after that? Or just the second?
That'll totally depend on people if they retire or don't retire. It'll depend on scheduling in the high school.
So now there's just January to June at this point.
He'll be employed here for sure in the middle of January to conclude the school year. Then that falls under teacher tenure and so forth, so I have to kind of see where we are.
I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that the Board of Education approve the teaching contract for David Sheehan as high school math and science teacher effective January 21st, 2025.
Motion by Ms. Woolley, support by Mr. Nash. Discussion. Roll call vote. Stop.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Motion passes. Item D.
Item D is the administrative salary formula that has been enacted, I think, for the last 3 years, that expires in June of 20, at the end of this academic year in June. And there are some edits there. You take a look at the edits. Changes in the administrative salary formula. The director of athletics is put in there where it wasn't before. The curriculum director is put in there where it was not before. And the technology director, which was not there before. Those three individuals just had loose individual contracts, okay? There was no formula, no guidance to be followed on those, so that's new. Also, in regards to the program size, the AD, everyone else has a building size, okay? If you look under number 3 there, if a building has less than 100, it gets a factor of 0.08 and so forth like that, okay? But the AD just doesn't have one building, so therefore it's going to be we're proposing it's 50% of the middle school, high school count, or a 0.18 as standard, whichever is greater. And likewise with the technology director doesn't have one building, it's a technology director for the whole district. So therefore, as a result of that, it will be at least a standard of 0.21 and a very similar standard for the curriculum director. So those are new items in there. Also, as far as elementary, elementary was previously an administrative responsibility factor, 0.19, but after discussing it with the administrators, they've had a lot of additional responsibilities. So elementary principal will have a factor of 0.24. The high school assistant principal used to be a factor of 0.16. However, many responsibilities have been added to the high school assistant principal, so that's going to be a 0.20. Curriculum director, since it's new, it's going to be a 0.16, and the technology director will be a 0.28. Under salary calculation, on the second page, step 3, administrative base is called an index multiplier. Spell that out, and also the index base multiplier will be a 1.45, which has always been for years. It gets a 0.02 for additional years of being in the district. And then there's one other item, and that's for merit pay. All of this it's not required by law, but ORS is saying how you pay people, you need to have some kind of a formula. they need to have that. Otherwise, they do not, there has been lawsuits, even it went up to the Supreme Court. And the lawsuits are, districts, how do you pay your people? Okay? Teachers have a contract, all right? Step 1, step 2, step 3, master's degree or bachelor's degree and so forth. But frequently, administrators did not have some kind of a way to pay them. And that's why the new ones are on there, and this is going to be updated. They've highly recommended to have that for each school district, and that's what we see along many school districts in the state of Michigan having some kind of formula on this. So recommending to the Board of Education that you would approve the administrative salary formula, which expires in June of end of this year.
I'll entertain a motion.
What was the right?
Go ahead.
The
Speak
merit,
up, please, Mary.
the merit
I have
pay,
a hard time.
what is the merit pay based on?
Merit pay is based on how they do in their evaluation. Like teachers, they perform at a particular level in their evaluation, and I think they get a 3% merit pay. It would be very similar.
So whatever the merit pay is based on their contract.
It would be based on their evaluation. That's what it is.
Thank you.
And by the way, I did not point it out, but you notice that the evaluation also changed because it changed from a 4-point system from last year. Now it's a 3-point system, so that also had changed. And that is the legislature enacted that.
How does this compare to other districts?
They're all different areas. All schools don't have this. Okay? So I've not taken this document and compared it to every other school, all right? Because a lot of schools don't have it. Some schools have a union, okay? The principals are in a union, just like the teachers, okay? And their union has a different scale, all right? I can say, as far as the number of years, the starting and the ending, we are compared quite well with other school districts, okay? But to say, how does it compare to another district, I don't have that comparison. Because all districts don't have a scale. But they're going to be putting in a scale simply because of feedback from OMS.
Just roughly, how long has Ovid-Elsie been using the formula?
This formula, was here previously when I was here. Okay, yes. This formula, I would say, Kevin, 15 to 20 years at least. Yeah. And I don't know of any updates that have occurred, okay? The only updates that I know have occurred is from the previous, I think it was the 3 years that I highlighted this time. It's been around for quite some time. Ovid-Elsie really has kind of been ahead of the curve. As I said, ORS has said, folks, get it in. Districts. And if they don't do it willingly, I think the legislature will finally come in and see that. As I said, it went out into the Supreme Court this past year. Any other questions? Well, when you, as I said, follow up a little bit more and look to really look at where our administrators are. And it depends how many years you've been in that role, okay? And it's just like the teachers, they vary from step 1 to step 12, and then they get longevity, and that continues. So if you look at, I think our teachers are about the middle of the road for Clinton County, and I'd say our administrators are at least the middle of the road here. Maybe even a little bit better, but I don't have a comparison from.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I move the Board of Education approve the administrative salary formula effective July 1st,
Motion by Mr. Miller, support by Dr. Huff. Discussion.
There's a question in that, or no question? 25. I didn't know if we had to go back and retro, but
No, that's why I sent you the school year, but it's July 1 of 2025.
Let's
It expires on June 30th, 2025.
I move the Board of Education approve this administrative salary formula effective July 1st, 2025.
Support. Motion by Mr. Miller, support by Dr. Huff. Discussion. Roll call vote. Doc?
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes. Item E.
I'm going to pass this along. There was a committee that met a couple weeks ago, Board Ad Hoc Committee, Superintendent Recruit and Selection. And Mary was on the committee and Brooke and Josh was on it.
You want to take an update? Do you want us to share what we did here? Okay. So we met with Mark Palmer, who has had 35 years in education. He is now a consultant for MASP, and he gave us a timeline so we could see what it looks like, all the steps, just so that if we decide to hire him to be a consultant to facilitate this process, this is what it would look like. And so some of the things that he was big on sharing with us was that based on Open Meetings Act, every single decision, discussion, every step of this will be done in public. That means behind doors. We won't even know the names of some of the candidates, they'll be numbered. So when they come through him, we'll just get to see his or the credentials and have numbers for people. The hope is that we would get 12 candidates. And his job is that he goes through and based on their experience, their background, all of that, he will tier the candidates, but we also will still just be given all the candidates. So while he might think the first however many are the ones we want to look at, we have the option to look at all of them. So it's about 12 to 14 weeks where we start planning. So he would come and we would plan with our board and we would create a preliminary posting. So you put it out there and as a board we decide what we thought we wanted out there. And then the next part is a survey with stakeholder meetings. So it would, there would be an opportunity for teachers, for support staff, the admin, for community and parents. There would be multiple different opportunities for people to come in and share what they're looking for our next superintendent and have their input put in there. And then he brings all of that, all those results back to us and we do a board workshop. Right? I'm just reading through. And then we would use all of that to come up with 6 candidates. That's our ideal number, 6 candidates to come into interview. And there's a first round where he said he recommends you do 3 each night, so 2 nights, and it's about 50 minutes each. And the public are obviously invited, but they can do the public feedback. So at the end of the night, for each candidate, we're given that information that the public sees and can share what they feel about each candidate or questions they might have. And he also builds in time for the public to ask questions of the candidates too, not just us. And so we do that, and then our goal is then to come down to 2 candidates and have either we can go visit, but then second rounds of interviews, so they're about 75 minutes each. And there's an open house, so the public can come in, they can visit with the candidates, we can interview, we do them all in one night. There's feedback forms again, so we get to hear community input there. And then he recommends that we choose a candidate that night unless we require more information or want to go to a site visit. So he kind of just laid that out for us based on how much time it takes and the best time of year when we're looking for people who aren't just leaving in the middle of the school year. We want to get the best pool candidates. On top of the fact that we knew we might have a board change, we wanted all of our board to be on board and also the superintendent to meet the board that they're going to work with. So when we finish this meeting after you laid it out, I was on the committee, so I would like us to follow this timeline, but if we do, we would be committing to hiring him as our
style surveys, and some, everything like that.
Superintendent achiever assessments. So we can choose what we want to add to it, or, if we want to just add it. One of the questions, and I don't know, maybe all of it at the time, but one of my questions, to them, knowing that MASB is like a respected, trusted source to do this, and then we had a school district in the last couple of years that had hired a superintendent, and the superintendent's credentials and their transcripts were not actually verified. So down the road, then it started to get discovered, and then they couldn't verify that. So that is something that MASB has changed since, and they do go through and verify every degree, every credential from those people, because they work for them when I got them.
Do you have any questions?
Are there other groups like that out there, or is this the only one we look
We
at?
shared the names.
There's a national group out there that do like a national search and whatnot. They were over, it's like 20 grand or something.
Yeah, that was a lot more.
Astronomical.
So there's only three?
He mentioned a couple of that.
Okay, I'm just asking.
But my grade was all great, the local ones were very good. They were all.
And I think one of the positives about this is the source that we can go to for training. They can come and do workshops with us. So it's something recognized, something that we use as a board now.
So this was, Mark was very knowledgeable on what we did. I asked a question at that, and I guess I'm gonna ask it again. We have a superintendent who's doing the job. Has anybody talked to the superintendent that we have, to see if he wants to continue on? Pretty well, hire a search firm to replace something
Well,
that we have.
I think that's a great thing that we could do, but with stakeholders, we did a survey back in January 23, that survey came back that stakeholders want to move forward. I think about 7 months ago, Doug Long was in here stating that he appreciated Wayne facilitating this role as we transition, and we were looking forward to moving this forward with the superintendent. I think if we don't listen, it's to our stakeholders. I mean, that's your best.
And possibly in anticipation of getting the staff members, that's why I'm looking at the concerns. I think it's time to move forward.
Any other comments? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion.
I move the Board of Education retain the freshman social school board, executive search service, to assist the superintendent with selection process for the president of the school.
Motion by Mr. Nash, support by Ms. Wu. Discussion.
Understood. We talked to that one person, I'm just curious if there's anybody else out there that would be involved before we try to go through this as far as.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously reached out to MASD because that's the source we use. We have another source, we could reach out.
I'm asking, that's what I'm asking.
I don't personally know many others, but I also know in my 8 years, this is where I've gotten all of my training and my support for this perspective.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Yes.
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 No,
No.
No. Motion fails. Item F, superintendent evaluation. At this time, we're going to be going into closed session. We'll be clearing the room out probably 40 minutes to an hour so we can perform the superintendent evaluation. You're welcome to come back afterwards. I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session at this time. Support. Motion by Dr. Huff, support by Mr. Miller. Roll call vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. We go into closed session this time.
Becca got this keto way stuff.
Is the off-season over yet?
What's that?
The off-season over yet? You start yelling like that?
Oh, yes. Of course. Yeah. I know. We'll get those two lazy ones together for sure, man. Hey, good to see you too, Mike.
Yeah, there was it. Actually, today he was on Michigan State.
Oh, really?
How big of a financial burden. You know.
I do know. I do know. Sticker shock.
Yeah, like, my wife took a picture next to me.
I'm just glad my son's not good enough to do it.
We gotta go in there because it's live feed.
We're right on camera.
All right.
Let you guys get to it.
We gotta take all this stuff in.
Yeah.
When this door closes.
Come.